Myth 7. Constructivism good, explicit teaching bad. Let's start with what Hattie describes in Visible Learning. Quote, "Every year I present lectures in education students and find that they are already indoctrinated with the mantra constructivism good, direct instruction bad. When I show them the results of these meta-analyses, they are stunned, and they often become angry at having been given an agreed set of truths and commandments against direct instruction. Too often," Hattie says, "what the critics mean by direct instruction is didactic, teacher-led talking from the front of the room, which should not be confused with a very successful direct instruction method. Direct instruction, or explicit teaching, has a bad name," Hattie continues, "for the wrong reasons, especially when it is confused with didactic teaching, since the underlying principles of direct instruction place it among the most successful outcomes." Close quote. Hattie enumerates these underlying principles. Explicit teaching's principal objective is to accelerate instruction. In a nutshell, learning intentions and success criteria are set, commitment and engagement built, lesson presentation is determined, including modeling, guided practice, checking for understanding and closure, followed by appropriately challenging independent practice. This is Madeline Hunter Redux. You've heard it before. You probably have written a lesson plan in college covering these very elements. For most teachers, that's where it ends. It's a rare teacher who has experience or permission to generalize and apply these principles in daily practice. Most of us are bound to faithfully implement whatever curriculum of the day has been chosen for us. Make no mistake, if you are a teacher who's successfully applying essential resource every day, then you are a hugely valuable resource to your colleagues. We need to observe and learn from you. Remember Project Follow-Through? Here's the amazing ending to the story of the biggest educational study in U.S. history. Project Follow-Through intended to find out how to best increase student achievement for disadvantaged students, and then to fund and disseminate widely what worked best. Overall, there were 4 full project evaluations done. One of the reviewers summarized it this way. Quote, "Increased amounts of money, people, materials, health and dental care, and hot lunches did not cause gains in achievement. The follow-through models that were based on self-directed learner approach were at the bottom of the academic and affective achievement. The cognitively oriented approaches produced students who were relatively poor in higher order thinking skills. And models that emphasized improving students' self-esteem produced students with the poorest self-esteem." End quote. In the end, federal funding and widespread dissemination was awarded not just to the clear success, direct teaching, but instead to models that were the clear failures in hopes that they would improve their outcomes. Philosophical values and preferences of the day trumped these clear results. The outcome data were discredited and ignored. Opinion triumphed over data. Talk about your Semmelweis effect. Similar programs with different names, based on the notion of leaving students to discover knowledge on their own, persist to this day. In reality, learning is not an either-or situation. Not just the philosophy of constructivism, not just the methodology of explicit teaching, it's both. We all construct our own knowledge. The question is, upon what skills? What information are we constructing that knowledge? Bottom line, our job is to give students code-breaking strategies. I repeat, our job is to give students code-breaking strategies so they can accurately construct knowledge, meet challenges, and solve problems collaboratively. Problems no generation has yet faced. It's not just a good idea, it's our duty to ensure our kids survive and thrive. Is explicit teaching the only way to teach? Certainly not. But if our students are accountable for what we teach, then explicit teaching is as close as we get to a sure thing. Let's bring things back to where we live, on the ground, in the trenches, in the ocean depths, in our classrooms where we still need to teach every day. The good news is that now you have a choice to make that's unaffected by the latest storm-tossed political seas. It's time for you to ask yourself, what do you need to fill or fine-tune your own knowing-doing gaps? How will you optimize your skills so you can teach practically anything to practically anybody?